Well, the 17th edition of the Christmas Banquet Division Association in South Florida. The official part of the ceremony is now over. They're dancing on the inside. Now I've sneaked out to have a chat with Dawn Liburd, who delivered the keynote address tonight. How good was that for them to invite you to come all the way from the West Coast to talk to divisions here in South Florida?
As I said during the speech, it was quite a humbling experience. It's one thing when in my line of work, I get to talk to a lot of people around the world, but to have the opportunity to talk to divisions about what we can do in this, I'm truly an honor.
And you spoke, and I've heard you use that before, about your race as a child and finishing dead last.
Yes.
And using that to send messages to anyone who's on a path in whatever field or whatever discipline.
Absolutely. I think there are a couple of things that I learned that day. I didn't know that then, but number one, it was a huge lesson in understanding that I shouldn't compare myself with others. Mm-hmm. That we all have within us whatever it is, but we should focus on what we can do and not worry too much about what everybody else is doing. That was number one. But the key message was finishing the race. I may not finish it the way everybody else does, but I do it in my own way, focusing on my own strengths. And so that's something that has been a key moment in finding who I am.
Now, you have been at high levels in the corporate world, now working over there in Washington State, having worked in Singapore before. But you said you're humbled to come back, to give back to divisions and to speak to divisions gathered here at Club 19.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, it's something to be said when you've had the opportunity to travel the world, to achieve a number of things. But one of the things that has always been true about me is that I'm very grounded where I'm from. Like, no matter where I am in the world, everybody knows this is not from me. That's how I'm known at Microsoft. And so it's one of the things that is a tremendous piece of pride for me. I had the benefit. I tell people all the time that, in life, you look around for people to inspire you. I was fortunate to have that at home. I was fortunate to have that in my home. I was fortunate to have that in my community. And so for me, it's always been important to remember where I'm from. And it is that, I think we just have this sense of pride within Nevis. We always go out, we do our best to excel, and that's something that has stuck with me, and so it's always so important for me to have the opportunity.
Now, you highlighted that the Premier Leaders, the Honorable Mark Grassley, has said constantly that he's inviting people to come back and give back. You said that he has said that to you at every turn. Why do you think it's important for persons who are out here, even though making important strides wherever they're planted, should give back to our 36 square mile island space?
I mean, I think it's important because that's what made us. Mm-hmm. I went to school from kindergarten all the way to sixth form in Nevis. That's where I had my education. I went to college. I excelled at college. But it was all based on my foundation in Nevis. And, for me, especially at this stage in my life, at this stage in my career, I feel like I've put a lot of effort and energy into building another country. Mm. And so now I ask myself, well, I've done all this to help Microsoft be successful in the U.S. I've helped KPMG be successful in the U.S. and all across the world. What am I going to help Nevis? And so, I've always been one that I give at every chance I get within Nevis, but I want to be able to inspire other divisions, just like divisions before myself inspired me, so that they have an opportunity to see what's possible. And they may choose to do that in Nevis, they may choose to do that outside of Nevis, but I think it's important for us to be able to show ourselves as examples for the future generation to help them. Because one of the things that I've always appreciated in life is that a lot of times it's difficult to be something you can't see. And so when you see another division who has gone out there and excelled, I think that helps to motivate others. And so that's what I'm thinking.
Now, from your position, your lofty position at Microsoft, it's many worlds away from Nevis, 36 square miles, not a rich country. If you were able to wave a magic wand to help Nevis move forward in terms of technology, what would you like to see for your alma mater, Charleston Secondary Sixth Form College, for instance?
I mean, I think right now it's important for people to understand the role that technology is playing today and what it's going to be playing in the future. AI is something that everybody needs to know at this point in time because it is something that is just going to be a part of life. I use AI on a daily basis.
You do?
Absolutely. For things as simple as when I go to my inbox for my email, I get so many emails. I get hundreds and hundreds of emails each day. I go in, I type a prompt and say, tell me what I need to know within this inbox. And that quick second message gets me down to a short list of here are the things that actually need my attention. And so it's things like that that help you to save time. And so if I think about my alma mater, I would love to see the use of AI be incorporated in the way that people learn. A lot of people are afraid of it because they feel that, hey, you know, students go out on ChatGPT and the AI is writing their stuff. But the reality is that people are going to use it. And so you might as well figure out how to use it in a responsible way. My son, for example, this summer launched his own company.
How old is he?
He's 17. And he did everything from start to finish. He designed, he opened basically his own clothing line. He did his own designs and used his computer to do that. He sourced his own manufacturing in China. He's been using technology in a way that it's amazing to see that he launched his company in July of this year. He is already very profitable at this point in time. And all of this he's done online, in his room, advertising on all the social media platforms. And so that's the type of thing that I love to see. I love to see young people be able to use the technology to their benefit. The things that he's been able to accomplish in just a few months, in my day, would have taken years. And that's what technology is today. And so that's what I love to see.
No, as I said, I love diaspora groups for what they do. So in this room, probably dancing away is Clinton. It's amazing that he has been president of this group for 10 of 17 years. I interviewed him last night and he had very fond memories of your dad, because he taught him at the old, well, it's now Ivor Walters, but it used to be the old Prospect or Brownlow School. And he said that he had never met you, but somebody in the group said, there's this young lady who maybe you should invite. And he researched you, you had conversations, and it was absolutely seamless. Talk about somebody like Clinton who's keeping this group together in the diaspora. And the amazing work they're doing in health, in sports, in culture on Nevis.
I mean, Clinton was just sharing with both of us this evening about the work that they're doing right now, just in making sure that people who are less fortunate have meals during Christmas. I mean, that is something that is huge. It's a small thing, but it's a huge deal for somebody who doesn't have. And so to see someone like Clinton who has spent so much of his life keeping a group like this together that is having real impact within this society is huge. And I think for me, that is very inspiring. It's something that I think more of us need to do. Because it's an opportunity for us to use whatever small resources we have to be able to help our communities continue to move forward. And so I truly commend Clinton for the work that he's doing. And I think for me, I'm leaving feeling inspired that, here's another example of something that even I can do to give back.
Now, I saw you on the plane coming up from St. Kitts. You told me you had come home to celebrate your mother's 80th birthday. And of course, you said at the table that you're heading back at Christmas. You like Christmas is in Nevis. How important is family to what you have become and what it should mean for Nevisian society even here in the diaspora?
Family for me is so important. It is the thing that keeps me grounded. I talked about, all the many experiences that I've had in life, but my family is the thing that has always kept me going. If I have a bad day, my mom is my first call.
Okay.
If I need somebody to pep me up, that's my dad. He is always there to provide support. My sister, she's 3 years older than me, but for all intents and purposes, we act like twins. I speak with her very often. And so family has always been huge for us. At least once per year, we all get together. And, even when I lived in Singapore, it would take me 16 hours to fly to the U.S. and then another 12 to get home. But I did it at least 2 or 3 times a year because that's how much my family means to me. And it's something that, we get on the phone, we have our family chats, we stay connected at all times, because that's my support system. And these are the people who are with me thick and thin, the people who I can always rely on telling the truth, whether I want to hear it or not. And they will give me the brutal, honest truth of, hey, you screwed up. And I appreciate that.
Don, I appreciate you too. And I know that all of Nevis does. I know you are an inspiration to many young people trying to make their way in the world. And I appreciate sharing the table with you tonight, hearing your stories, and you being so candid with the visions here in the diaspora, which videographers like the one before us is trying to transmit home to Nevis and the rest of the world.
Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on being recognized.
Thank you.